Hello, hello, and welcome back. Or welcome, perhaps, if the back. Today, we are conquering An Orlando, and probably some more stuff while we're at it. We've got our plus 15. We're up to now our 40 endurance, 30 vit, and we're ready to go. So first things first, we'll just be clearing out these side areas we skipped to get to the bonfire earlier. These guys aren't too difficult, although they are pretty strong if you try and fight them head to head. You can see pretty good attacks, and they'll show in a minute if you hit the shield. As maybe it won't show in a minute. But if you hit the shield, then you don't do anything. Alright, fine, I won't show it. Fuck it. Maybe I'll show it by accident at some point. Easiest way I find, just go between the legs. 2 hits will do it. Simple enough. But they can actually be somewhat dangerous. A good shield will deal with them quite well. I did not mean to jump, but it works out. That being said... Oh, see, you can see there. Hitting the shield, even though... questionable whether my sword actually hit the shield or not. Didn't do anything. Mr. Smo over here. This one's fine. As you can see, it's got the curved chain. This one is not fine. The chain goes the other way. This is a mimic. And keep just briefly in mind the position of these two chests. Because there is actually, in fact, a hint that one of them is a mimic. Game is surprisingly lenient with its mimics. The one in Sen's Fortress, the first one you're going to find, is pretty damn easy to identify as a trap. And that should put you on your guard as, oh, chests in this game can be mimics. Now, if you don't figure out the chain tell on your own, which likely you won't, I didn't learn about it until I found it online, then you should at least probably be attacking the chests. But, just in case, I put this little hint. You see, by Ornstein, the more noble of the two between O and S, there's a chest on this side, and not a chest on this side. If you remember with Smo over there, the Mimic was on this side, where there is no chest by Ornstein, while the real chest matched up. Just a small little hint. You can argue, how the hell am I supposed to understand that damn hint? But since you should be on your guard anyways, I think it's fair enough. It's just a cool little thing. No rolling required. Speaking of which, I remember seeing a Soul Level 1 speed run of Dark Souls with no rolling. I saw that title, I'm just like, how the hell? And watched the video of it, and to some degree, still, how the hell, but you discover that you don't really need rolls very much. You don't even need to block. There's a hell of a lot in this game that can be avoided by just sprinting. Now, don't get me wrong, it's still probably pretty difficult. I've never done it. And there's a lot of stuff I wouldn't want to attempt to dodge with nothing but a sprint, but the fact that it can be done, and honestly made to look downright easy, I think says something there. Still, I would call that Dark Souls on hard mode. And we're not doing that. We're doing easy mode. Yep, round 2 with the Belfry Gargoyles here. Although we are a bit stronger this time. We already have the tail axe, so don't need to cut the tail off, but if you did, in fact, not fail to cut the tail off before, then cut the tail off there for the tail axe. And, as you can see, way forward is blocked. This is an interesting little bit here. So you've only found one way forward at this point. If you'd gone up that way, you would have eventually found a golden door of light you can't get past. That's the way we came from. There's only one way forward, and only one thing you see there. So the next thing you're going to do, you're going to turn around. You'll see, oh, there's some little stuff on the side. Let's check that out. Whole passage over there, but we'll go around here first. What's this? A treasure chest. Nice little demon taut knot. Which we will not be using, of course, but... Go down through here. And what you'll probably do is you'll probably... be like, oh, stairs. Where do they lead? Go up the stairs. Maybe go around here. And quickly discover that they actually just lead nowhere. It's just how you get back up to where you... It's just a way back up to where you came from outside of the obvious staircase. Or, arguably, a way down, depending on how you want to see it. So, without much more to go on, you might notice that there are little drop-offs here. Which I think would draw your eyes to over here. There's this. Can you walk on it? Well, you can. And if this isn't just about the oddest way to get around a level, I don't know what is. Also, this part's a doozy. Thank you, camera. Fuck off. These little dudes aren't too bad. Don't even need to go to the backstab, honestly. They die very easily. But... I do like that they introduce you to a couple of them first, give you time to see what they're about before they throw this bullshit at you. And I say it's bullshit because it is, but it's a little bit of bullshit that I happen to enjoy. It's a bit of a run back here if you die, but it's honestly not that far, and it's really not hard to get here. Since the gargoyle doesn't even respawn, there's nothing in your way. And these guys, while irritating, no doubt, are actually not very threatening. Their damage is, even without heavy armor, their damage is not that high. And a decent shield will... I mean, a 100% physical damage shield will block everything, and most of their attacks don't deal a lot to your stability. The only thing you have to watch out for is falling. And we could be taking this a lot faster, but I recommend for a first-timer you take this hella slow. They will frequently throw themselves off. Actually, you can stand here, and often they'll just do that. So yay. Simple enough. Now, if you found that a harrowing challenge, then I would recommend maybe coming back for this, maybe just skipping this next part if you're worried about death. I'm gonna kill that guy. You don't have to kill him now, I just choose to. Roll over here. Obligatory look up the skirt. If this was a, if we were online, you'd also have to leave an obligatory amazing chest ahead. And the reason we killed the guy earlier is just because fighting them in this particular sort of little passage here, bloody irritating with his Vi. You bounce off the walls crazily. We have not a mimic. And yeah, just a divine blessing. Nothing spectacular. So you do get a look at Guinevere over here with her silver knights. Bare feet, because Miyazaki likes bare-footed women. And the turntable. Interesting little decision. First time you do this, you get a cutscene. You will not be getting cutscenes the next time you turn it. Why this decision? I could not tell you for sure. And yeah, there's another gargoyle, by the way. This will be the last one. And I do believe you are guaranteed to get any gargoyle items that have not yet dropped from this guy. Which, as you can see, was all of them. Because what even is RNG? Now, if you were to check down here... Down, down, down... There's this little bit here. The bottom of the cathedral. We're gonna do it for the hell of it. You can leave this for later. This bit is completely optional. And frankly, can be a little bit of a pain to get back from. But it's not too hard. And also, one extra little addition is that we're human. And we're gonna want to kindle this next bonfire. There is one bonfire in this game. Actually, scratch that. I think there's 2 bonfires in this game that I would recommend just offhandedly kindle to 20. This next one is one of them. Not for the most part because, oh my god, there's a terrible, difficult boss. Boss is not difficult in the slightest. It can potentially kill you, don't get me wrong, but it's not actually that hard. And most of the time, it won't kill you. No, as you'll see, the reason you're going to need a bunch of flasks is toxic. Overkill. Also, while you're over here, make sure to pick up Tarkus's gear. Don't actually need to summon him or anything for it to be here. Signor Tarkus, boss that he is, took down the golem, made it to Anor Londo, but seemingly was not so nimble as we were and fell from the rafters. He was unable to make it, poor guy. Find his stuff. I think it's actually below. Oh, no. Higher up. As you can see, it's moderately worse than our current stuff in terms of just overall defense. Bit of curse resistant poison is nice and all, but Stonehelm is notably higher defenses, if heavier. But for just a small change of pace for a moment, we'll run Black Iron. We're going to be changing our clothes in a bit anyways. We're Tarkus. His set's not amazing, but it's fun. Now, come up to here. If you do not have the peculiar doll, which I'll take a look at while we're at it. Peculiar doll. Doll in a strange doll in a strange dress. There was once an abomination who had no place in this world. She clutched this doll tightly, and eventually was drawn into a cold and lonely painted world. If you don't have this, and if you remember, we got this from where your cell, or I should say, where you were in your cell at the asylum. Without it, you cannot enter the painted world. Spooky. Also, I'm not going to show you because I'm human. I don't want to lose it. If you were to, say, turn around and run off this to your death, you would not go back to your previous bonfire. You would go back right to here. You are now stuck in the painted world. Even when warping is unlocked, even with Homeward Bones, even with death, there is no way out except to finish this area. Fortunately, it's not too difficult. Moreover, you don't even have to fight the boss if you do not desire. There's also going to be another NPC invasion here. But this is I'm not going to say a hot spot for PvP, but it's pretty common in my experience to get a PvP encounter here. And if you just don't want to deal with that while human and looking for an NPC invasion, just go offline mode. If you don't mind tangling with someone a bit, feel free. Although personally, if you came here beforehand, Orlando, and don't have Havel's, you might be at a bit of a disadvantage. Havel's gear is best stuff we're going to have for a fair while. If not, period. A bit early there. Oh, come on. Bitch. Very important loot. Honestly, I think these guys don't drop anything but broken shit, so... These guys are a problem! These guys are a real problem. For that reason exactly. You kill them with anything except fire, or something that does fire damage, and they will inflict toxic on you. I would honestly recommend trying it. The Zai, by the way, the Zai is actually capable of hitting them from outside the toxic range. It's just tricky as all hell. You need to be very precise. You're going to want to heal. We're about to be attacked. There we go. The Booty Crows. These are nasty enemies, but they have very nice butts. They are somewhat dangerous, though. As you can see, Zvi 3-shots them. We have enough stamina for 3 hits. They'll just be staggered, so they're not too difficult to deal with. But they are fairly powerful, and they have a annoying-ass grab. Well, I suppose saying annoying-ass implies that not all grabs are annoying, and that would be a lie. Grabs are bullshit. By the way, we're not curing ourselves of toxic because we don't actually have all that many moss clumps. And there will be more of the bloat dudes here. And this is why we got 20 flasks, because 20 flasks is more than enough to deal with toxic and then some. Oh, come on. And yep, as you can see, there's more of these jerk faces. They're frickin' fire magic. It's a bit interesting that they pretty much all wield fire-based damage, and yet they're arguably weak to fire. I don't know if it's like they're actually specifically weak to the damage, but the fact that fire prevents the toxic explosion is, I would say, enough to call it a weakness. Since the most dangerous thing about that is, in fact, the toxic. The amount of damage toxic does is completely absurd. There's one more jerk face. Rip. We'll just make the jump. There is another way besides making this jump, but while we're here, and since we want to deal with Mr. Toxic Head, might as well. And of course he falls, didn't he? Yeah. Ah, fuck me. Whatever, we'll be coming back anyways. Now, that should be the last one, unless I'm remembering this horribly wrong. Last one for a little while anyways. There are actually more, just not for a little bit. I'm going to take the sippies and be on our way. And just remember to... We'll get that item, just because why not? It's only an egg vermifuge, if memory serves. An interesting to note, the Painted World, lore-wise, is a place that is meant to contain sort of taboo shit, dangerous shit. Things the gods do not want. And a lot of the items you will find here seem to be related to that in some way. The egg vermifuge, the weird egg head. I don't know what you'd call it, but... Ow, I got a bit too close there. This jerk is just gonna keep vomiting. They vomit one place, move to another, move again. It is very behind on where it vomits. I feel like I missed that second tag. That was bad. Oh, jeez, a crow? Those do not usually appear. Wonder if the dragon could kill it. Where did you come from? Oh, claw attack. Stuck around just a bit too long. And that should be it. Our boy here drops some dragon scales. And he leaves behind his butt. His butt blocks the path. You might notice it's moving. Now, there's a enemy, I guess you could call it. It is technically an enemy. In Lost Izalith. It's a dragon butt. It's just what it is. It's called, officially, like, the Bounding Demons of Izalith. It's an undead dragon's butt. They just took the undead dragon's butt and just crapped it all over the map. Lost Izalith sucks. That was not correct. But, perhaps because of that, because I think this is to some degree treated as an enemy, you can do that to it. This would let you skip basically the rest of the level. We're not going to do it, because we don't need to. And honestly, we don't want to. There's still some shit to be done. But, it's an option. It's there. It is, in fact, available. Did I miss something? I don't think so. If I did, it probably wasn't. It's not too important. We do not miss the important things here. Oh, I know what I'm missing, yeah. I'll come back for that. Alright. It's the Phalanx. Anyone who's played Demon Souls will recognize this. Anyone who played this before Demon Souls would recognize the first boss of Demon Souls. It's a bit different, but same basic thing. Honestly, the Phalanx can actually be pretty nasty of an opponent. It's if you one-hand, or I think even some weapons two-handed, will bounce off their shields. Their shields reduce damage quite a bit, and they do surprising damage, can throw their spears, as well as stab you with them. And you can be attacked by a lot of them at once. Basically, the way you handle is you just run around, get at their exposed sides, split them up a bit, don't let them in formation. But honestly, this Zweihander just does fine. Excuse me. This Zweihander has little to no trouble with them. Also, I realized I think I forgot something else as well. I tend to forget a few things in this level. There's a hanging item there we should get. Excuse me while I remember where. Down there. Oh no, it's I haven't gotten it yet. Okay, right. It's the other one we missed, I think. I think I forgot. Yeah. We forgot about that one. drop that shit. And yes, as you no doubt have already seen, we've opened up a very nice little shortcut here. That door in the front there is a pretty, opening this up skips quite a bit of this level. And we only have to do a bit of stuff in this area to open up the next bit. And once that's through with, it's more or less a straight run to the boss with not very much in between. See, these things are complete horseshit. The damage on that rush is utter bollocks. Like, the Black Iron stuff actually has pretty damn good fire defense. Like, if you just scroll through here. Only thing with more is Stonehelm. Which, come to think of it, how's the bleed resistance on most of this? No. We're just gonna go back to stone now, I guess. Don't particularly need to, but got an NPC fight coming up. It's not in the slightest bit hard, but honestly, these jerks are actually harder, I would argue. At least the torch ones. The torch ones, as you no doubt saw, will absolutely just fuck you up. Their rush attack is absolute bullshit. Unmitigated, unrepentant bullshit. Sometimes Miyazaki just wants to fuck with you. He's like, you know, the game's been fair and pretty nice and enjoyable and balanced this whole time. Let's put in just some total bullshit. Just something to fuck with the player. Because fuck the player. And yeah, here we have Stupid Hat. It's very important to kill him. Because with him dead, you can get his stupid hat. And why would you not want the stupid hat? I think you can probably just jump that stuff over there. Also, get a humanity, that's kind of nice. We'll be kindling later anyways, so... And there's a nice little pyromancy over there. We're going to change our shield momentarily. We actually don't have enough for the Black Iron Great Shield. Strength is a bit low, but if for some reason you did, as you can see, the stability it provides is quite good. The weight is a bit much, but if you drop down from stone, then you're fine. Plus, we're fat rolling anyways. Wait. Since when did we go over? Oh, right. Huh. Black Iron is surprisingly close in weight. I'll just run Gargoyle for a little short bit. We don't actually need to be able to roll here, and we probably won't be rolling. I just, where possible, prefer to keep weight down unless it serves a purpose to have it over. And frankly speaking, the difference between the defense we're losing from this helm change is not the biggest of deals. Gargoyle helm is also buff as fuck, man. You don't fuck with the Gargoyle helm. It's kind of funny. Oh, right, there is one more. We'll be encountering a few more of the toxic bitches now, but... Oh no, ambush. Terrifying. Here's the other the other little string. And there is a staircase, a little ladder down here, but well, that is probably the best way to take on the next bit ahead. We're just going to be taking it in a bit of a different direction. I would honestly recommend taking it from that way. I just want to go down the well, because going down the well is fun. And yes, we're gonna encounter, another bloat head in a relatively short period. This next one is not too difficult, or it's stationary and non-aggressive, so it's possible to pop it without getting too close. But it's pretty to fuck that up, so just be on your guard. And we enter the bullshit zone. One of the more bullshit zones, even, of this game. It is bone wheel skeletons in tight corridors. Fortunately, this Vi kicks ass. And we have the Black Knight shield, which has very, very nice, well, the stability on the Black Knight shield is, I think, one of the highest possible for a medium shield, if not the highest. Silver Knight might be a little better, I can't remember. And yeah. With a careful positioning, Zvi's strong attack lets you avoid the poison cloud. And we get a nice little pyromancy we'll never use. Even if we were running pyromancy, we would not be using flame surge. This isn't one of them, but there are illusory walls around here, so you'll want to be checking places. Most of them, they're pretty obvious, but still. Ow. That was a bit of an oopsie. We got the annex key. Oh, and by the way, these corridors specifically are not a requirement. Like these little super tight passages here. It's not required to come down here. It is just, there's some nice stuff in this area. The annex key being one of them. Illusory wall. Immediate bone wheels. Notice I said wheels. There's going to be quite a few there. Okay. By the way, there is actually a bone wheel shield that's possible to get. It's not so much used for defense as it is for, you can do an interesting little attack with it, but I've never actually tried. You can kind of see there, you got a bone. Fuck off. There's another one waiting back there. With bone wheels, attack before you get close to them. I honestly did that even quite a bit late. Because if you attack a little too slowly, you'll just run face first in them. In those tight corridors, they'll just keep hitting you through their entire charge sometimes, and that's usually death. The damage on bone wheels is complete bullshit. We do fortunately deal with them pretty easily with this build. Honestly, heavy armor, high stamina, high vitality, good shield, strong weapon, deals with bone wheels quite well. Though frankly, most weapons will deal with a bone wheel decently, they're not the tankiest. If you have the damage to get here in the first place, you could probably handle bone wheels. Even soul level 1, although I wouldn't say it makes quick work of them, doesn't struggle too much with the whole killing it. Just the staying alive bit. And this bit here is the way forward. That's right, this open room here, required to leave this place. Now, granted, it is possible, if you just cannot clear the bone wheel room, to make a run for the crank and turn it. You'll have invincibility frames during, but it's still a little bit sadistic to It's a bit sadistic to force you down here. And this is the ladder I was recommending coming down. I'm not going to say for sure it's easier. I just have found in the past that tackling the bone wheels from there first makes it a bit easier to deal with. But if you're not careful doing it, it's very possible to get swarmed, so slightly double-edged sword. Right, next we're going to clear out the annex, which we have the key for. This whole area is optional, but I guess you could consider that sort of extra optional. And as you can already see, we have more of these jerks. That was a bit early. It is highly unlikely that we'll actually be able to take them all out without getting toxicked. Yeah. Which is why it's fortunate we have a shit ton of Estus still. Also, crow ladies again. There we go. That one was going for the grab. Again, Zvi deals very easily with them, though. We have plenty of damage to kill them. Especially because plus 15. It's a little trickier if you're not plus 15, obviously, but it's not too bad. But more importantly, being able to stagger them is a significant advantage. Turns out that when things can't attack you, they're less dangerous. Who knew? Their dodge is mildly annoying, but that's all it is. Get a miracle that we won't be using. Oh, that's funky. That's some fun shit. Go down here. Oh yes, this area is also somewhat associated with Velka, goddess of judgment, and she also is associated with crows. Make of that what you will. While we're here, we've got something we have yet to do. Oh, and by the way, the dark ember we got there is a spooky evil ember. It's used to make occult weapons. Occult weapons scale with faith, but are strong against gods. They do extra damage to them. I've never used occult weapons in my damn life, because why would you, actually? They're not very good. They may or may not be stronger, depending on your stats, than blessed weapons, or whatever they're called. But most of the time when you're a faith build, you're probably just making a normal weapon, and then buffing it with magic, when necessary. And honestly, I don't remember if I think I've done like one faith build, maybe. I'm not the biggest fan. Faith builds are strong, don't get me wrong, but they're just not my thing. I got the Red Sign Soapstone. That is a PvP tool. You place down a sign, and it's a invasion that the other person chooses, essentially. It's a duel. Or has sort of connotations of a duel. Instead of forcefully invading, you're saying, hey, I want to fight. And anyone who takes you up on that automatically will know what they're getting into. Doesn't always mean they'll be honorable, and doesn't always mean the person you're summoning will be honorable. But there's a higher chance of it, at the very least. Or it also is used for fight clubs as well. We're gonna rest, by the way. A, because we have a decent few levels we can get. And B, because we want to get the silly clothing. And we need to have a, reloaded everything after killing Silly Hat to get his stuff. Also, something of note. The best soul farm I have ever found in this game is killing the Phalanx. Most specifically, this is a bad angle. Most specifically, killing the Phalanx with a Chaos Firestorm. Because that pretty reliably kills most of them in short order. And all in all, they do give a decent chunk of souls. The other nice thing about the Chaos Firestorm is that with a fully upgraded Pyromancy Flame, it will overkill them, which also gives bonus souls. And they're quite close to the bonfire, so you can run there, kill them all very quickly, reload, kill them all again. And you do that running the covetous Silver Serpent Ring, which is a ring that increases souls gained. Oof, headshot. You run the covetous Silver Serpent Ring and the Mimic Head. Pain. We're about to get ambushed again after we come here. Take him out, because we got a Berniki Knight. Bernike? Bernike? I never know. I've forgotten to change my shield. Oh well. Now, for this next bit, if you are, the main enemy is bleeding, and if you're worried about bleeding, you can run the Blood Shield. Which, we're gonna do. I might be able to run Stone Helm again, yeah. Although, Gargoyle Helm actually gives better bleed resist, so we'll stick with it. I'm telling you, Gargoyle Helm is fucking buff, man. Oh, we got another humanity as well. It's kind of nice.
Who art thou? One of us thou art not. If thou hast misstepped into this world, plunge down from the plank and hurry home. If thou seekest I, thine desires shall be requited not.
Yep, she will not bang you. Also, bare feet again.
Thou must returneth whence thou came. This land is peaceful, its inhabitants kind, but thou dost not belong. I beg of thee, plunge down from the plank and hurry home.
I think that's all she says.
Thou must. Yeah. This land is peaceful.
This land is not peaceful. Its inhabitants are not kind. Bitch is deluded. Or a liar. Who knows? But she is just telling you, hey, leave. Maybe I have to actually just quit and reload for the Xanthu stuff to show up. I'm not sure. We do have to reload the area for it to some degree, but I thought resting might be enough. Anyways, crossbreed Priscilla. Fuzzy waifu lady. She has a really cool scythe. Pretty nice design, although her face is a little uncanny. I think it's the eyes. But that might be part of the point. She's part dragon. She is very fluffy, though. And, like all other dragons, you can cut off her tail for a weapon. Let's see if we can aim it correctly.
I expected as much, but why dost thee hurry toward thine death?
Priscilla has the art of Life Hunt, which is basically just a super buff bleed. Ah, you can see her footsteps there. Let's try and get a better view. And you can see, the way you fight her is you look for her footsteps in the snow, and you can kind of see them there. And that's how you tell where she is. You stagger her, and she'll lose her invis. Though sometimes, you can end up killing her without ever actually getting her out of her invis. She's kind of weak. Her damage is pretty damn high, don't get me wrong. Especially with the bleed. If you come here with weak bleed resistance, you can potentially just get one shot. But lacking that, but having bleed resistance and some decent resistant defenses, she's not an issue at all. Firestorm, especially Chaos Firestorm, also just obliterates her. As we're going to quit out so we can get the Xanthu stuff. Xanthu's armor is honestly not bad. I think one piece in particular, and I don't think it was the hat, actually has some pretty decent defenses on. The hat's not bad, don't get me wrong. Also, it's very good curse resistance. Maybe it was the hat. Maybe I'm wrong. But the hat looks fucking stupid. It looks really stupid. Which, that could be a good thing, depending on your point of view, but for us, it's not. A little bit sensible. Now, jump off. Like she said, you want to get home, you jump. Interesting that it gives you a homeward bone, though, since if you use that, you're going straight back into the painted queue. Knowing Dark Souls, I wouldn't put it past it. Shit, we forgot something. Let's go back. My bad. It wasn't anything important, but it's something fun. It don't take us too long. Boss is even dead, so I mean... we can even cut the boss fight part out. Flatten the loser. Ignore the backup dancers, probably. Come to think of it, you might actually be able to overkill these jerks with the R2. Doesn't do too badly. I might be an overkill, I'm not 100% sure. If you, as I think I said before, but if you do kill somebody by a certain percentage over their max HP, it increases the souls drop by like 20%? I think it's 20%. Alright, so that's 500 versus 600 versus 600, yeah. 20%. And the R2 is capable of that, which is another reason this Vi is pretty good. You can do a decent soul farm with it. Not bad at all. Right, the annex. So, we might get toxic again. The way this is gonna go. Not the end of the world, but kind of annoying. So what we forgot was this. You can break that. Get Velka's rapier. And yes, you could totally land on that, even though it kind of doesn't look like it. Rapier, by the way... Intelligence. Dex and Intelligence. It's a magic rapier, and it's a cult. Which is a little black circle there in the bottom right. Well, bottom right of the damage attack portion. That's the occult. It's a powerful thrusting sword used by the Pardoner serving Velka, goddess of sin. It is no mere symbol, to be sure. The Pardoner is an inhuman swordsman and wields this enchanted blade with special sword technique. I guess she was goddess of sin. I remember her as goddess of judgment. For some reason. The Pardoner, we've already met. Oswald. Mr. Creepy Laugh, well, what is it? There's not a lot we really know for sure about Oswald, as far as I know, just... he is the servant of Velka, goddess of sin. And she has something to do with crows. She has something to do with the painted world. She might not be too fond of the gods, judging by the fact that that a lot of her shit has gotten sealed away in here. Okay. Gold coin, really amazing reward there. Giant albino death rat. I'm trying to remember. I think I remember where it is. Was it? Well, this goes... it wasn't down here. Yeah, okay, okay. I might have gotten the map of this plate slightly mixed up in my head, but we'll find out. We'll find out if I remembered completely wrong or not. But there is still something we need to get here. Is this it? This is it. I was not on drugs after all. No humanity, no humanity. This is not a mimic. It gives the KKK robes. Which, we'll just check out, I guess. Hood worn by the alabaster-clothed guardians of the paintings in Anno Lando. Offers substantial protection versus magic. They have guarded the great paintings of Ariamis for ages. Paintings, interestingly. Passing their duty down through the generations, but the reason for doing so passed from all memory long ago. Bit sad, really. They have a duty and they're not even sure why the fuck they're doing it. Oh, fuck you. But yeah, I don't know. They look kind of KKK-ish to me. Fine. Whatever. God damn it. And yep, as I remembered, we'll be coming back for this little egg vermifuge here. Flatten that guy. We're already toxic, so let's just kill these jerks. Not a lot of souls. We'll go back to the bonfire. Purge the toxic, because I'm pretty sure even if we went to the or left the painted world, toxic doesn't exactly go away because of that. I went down here, did I? Did I? Yeah. Yeah, I did the drop. Okay, right. What the fuck did I bounce off? We'll heal up. I mean, it's honestly, the souls are not terrible here. That's part of the reason why I decided to come to the Painted World first, because you actually get some pretty decent souls. The Phalanx specifically, as already stated, is a very nice source of souls. But honestly, everything in here is not terrible. Like, even these jerks are giving me 360. 60 for the overkill, 300 for the normal kill. Which, for a one-hit little beef jerky man, 300 souls ain't bad at all. Oh yeah, these guys drop spears and large leather shields sometimes. Both of which are totally worthless. And selling items in this game is kind of a bitch, and on top of it, with the way we're going to do things, we won't even have the ability to do so. So they're just going to be nothing but inventory clutter in the end anyways. That was one thing I think that missed that, not going to lie. Had not forgotten about you, but... Oh, missed one again. Oh well. Better than last time when we missed two. Ha! Let's go for the second. Damn it. Let's get fancy. You are dead, bro, and I have slain the evil boss. May your soul rest peacefully. That was a class. For anyone who doesn't know what I'm talking about, search Half-Life Full Life Consequences. It's a trip, man. It's hilarious. And yeah, it's that every time you want to leave, there's that little cutscene, but whatever. Also, I can't... Number of times I've been invaded upon returning human from Painted World after having killed, Xanthos. I said... Okay. Okay. I see how it is, game. Backstab in this game has always been a little weird. I think the most recent time I got invaded coming out of here, I was sitting by the bonfire waiting for the jerk to find me, and he just couldn't. So I eventually just force quit the game, sat down, got invaded by the same guy again, and it turned out he was a bloody Wrath of God spammer. Killed the jerk, because lol, he sucked. As a lot of Wrath of God spammers probably do, but... It's like, man... It's 2021. I don't actually remember if it was 2020 or 2021 at that point, but either way. It's current year, and you're Wrath of God spamming. Have you no shame? Anyways. Normally, you'd be like, oh, that's everything then, right? And you just head on down. Or you'd head on, you just keep going on ahead. And we could do that. We're not going to. Wait, was it this way or was it the other way? I always forget which is up and which is down. We want to go down. We're about to find out if we did it right. Well, that was wrong. And as you can obviously see, no cutscene. There's only a cutscene the first time you spin it. I've always wondered what exactly it's for, since, I mean, it's not like you need to show the player, oh, look, this corkscrew thing is moving. Like, no shit, I can tell that just when I'm standing on it, no problem. I don't know. Could just be to set up for the gargoyle or somehow. Or play with, or maybe there's some funkiness with the gargoyle if you don't do it. I don't know. I don't care. Light this bonfire. We're gonna kindle this once, just in case. I mean, we've got 18 Estus flasks on us, so I think we're probably fine. But, you never know. Better safe than sorry. Ring of the Sun's firstborn. Lord Gwyn's firstborn, who inherited the sunlight, once wore this ancient ring, boosts the strength of miracles. Lord Gwyn's firstborn was a god of war, boy, but his foolishness led to a loss of the annals and a rescinding of his deific status. Today, even his name is not known. Boy is no longer a god. Oops, I accidentally equipped a different ring. What's this? Yeah, if you wear the Dark Moon Seance ring, the wall disappears. I don't think we have anything that gives defense versus magic. Doesn't look like it. I'll just run Wolf Ring. It won't make a difference.
Halt!
Okay.
This is the tomb of the great Lord Gwyn.
Amazing.
Punished it shall not be by the feet of men. If thou art a true disciple of the Dark Sun, cast aside thine ire. Hear the voice of myself, Gwyndolin, and kneel before me.
But what if I'm not a true disciple of the Dark Sun?
O disciple of the Dark Sun, thou hast journeyed far. Hear my voice. If thou shalt swear by the covenant to become a shadow of Father Gwyn and Sister Guinevere, a blade that shall hunt the foes of our lords, then I shall protect thee, safeguarding thy person with the power of the Dark Moon.
Sure. We don't have anything to lose. You get the Blue Eye Orb and the Dark Moon Blade Covenant Ring.
Very Very well. Now thou art a blade of the dark moon, hunteth the enemies of the lords by the power of the dark sun.
Now this one is a, it's interesting. So the ring he gives you, ring granted... Ring granted to those bound by the Dark Moonblade Covenant, answer Dark One Gwendolyn's summoning. Gwendolyn, all too aware of his repulsive, frail appearance, transphobic, check my head, created the illusion of his sister Guinevere, who helps him guard over Anor Londo. An unmasking of these deities would be tantamount to blasphemy. So yeah, this ring is telling you, hey, Guinevere, who we have yet to meet, but whatever. Guinevere's an illusion. She ain't real. Anor Londo, pretty much everything here, is an illusion. And disrupting that would be blasphemous. Well, let's commit some blasphemy.
What foolishness! Why would a blade of the dark moon trespasseth upon the great lord's tomb? Mark the words of mine self, Gwendolyn. Thou shalt not go unpunished.
Whee! By the way, this corridor we're running down is not... It's seemingly endless. It's functionally endless. It's not actually endless. That was more damage than I wanted to take. Alright, we like that attack. That hurts, but it's pretty easy to get close to him when he's doing it. As you can see, with his Vi, he's no trouble. We get to him twice and he dies. This attack is dodged best by just hiding behind a pillar. That one will pierce through pillars and needs to be dodged by just moving. Bow attack, you just move slightly to the side. Give him a smack. Another smack.
Oh, heretic, swathed in dark, an eternal curse upon thee.
Mm-hmm. He's not too hard. Once you get the feel of just how to deal with his attacks, is not a problem. I was being really reckless, just running through his stuff, and as you can see, it hurts, but we survived, so who cares? And this thing shrinks. And you get Gwyn's giant-ass tomb. Now, as it turns out, there's nothing in here. This is not Gwyn's body. This is ceremonial. There's a little chair. Gwendolyn's, maybe. Next to Miracle Sunlight Blade. Which is a pretty fucking strong miracle, by the way. This chest is empty. No one knows why. Well, maybe somebody does. Not me. And here we get Lady's stuff. The Firekeeper's stuff. By the way, it's going to be hostile now since we just killed her god. The god she serves. However, the illusion in Anor Londo is not yet dispelled. We've yet to get to that little revelation. Oh, and obviously, that was kind of a betrayal of Covenant. As you can see, Covenant none. Yeah, we kind of get kicked out for killing the Master of the Covenant. Imagine that. Who could have guessed? A couple more levels. Almost level 69. Funny story. One of the builds I did, I think it was the most recent build I did. With the way the build worked out, upon hitting level 69, I actually had basically maximized stats. At the very least, I was hitting caps, or soft or medium caps, in every stat that mattered. So I was looking at it like, you know, I don't really get any benefit. I don't get any large benefits from leveling up anymore. Let's just stay at 69. Let's have some fun. Oh yeah, this also can go into the painted world as well, so just something to keep in mind. Now, hopefully we don't die before getting to the next bonfire, because it's a bit of a pain-in-the-ass run, but frankly, it's a pain-in-the-ass run from that other bonfire as well, so such is life. And expect to die, honestly. It is pretty difficult to not die, especially on your first time and the stuff coming up. Now, there's two of these jerks. You could try and fight them. Or you could just run. I don't see why you'd want to fight two at once. And they usually lose aggro when you come back to here. Although I have had one time when I assumed they had, went to go fight these jerks, and it turned out that one was still aggroed onto me and followed me, and things got a little dicey. And yeah, these guys are assholes. I did not mean to do that. They're sprightly little fellas. But, as with all things, Zweihander deals with them simply enough. Charge in. Do an attack. They tend to die. And even if you get hit, you can tank the damage pretty easily. For some reason, I always thought there'd be an item down there. Whatever. Go this way, and right about here-ish. Maybe a little farther. Maybe not. Sometimes you'll be shot at even while here by the archers. But you come up to here and... what's this? Gremlin things. But they can't follow you up here. Now, let's see. Please. Honestly, up to this point, this is pretty simple. Run in a straight line. Here it gets a little harder. For, yeah, obvious reasons. You want to dodge. Blocking knocks you back really far. Now, if you can parry these guys, it helps. You can also just do this. Parry is frankly unnecessary. Especially since you can totally tank their attacks decently well. And kill them with just one shot. If you died a few times on the way here and are worried about dying again, you don't need to come down here. Soul of a Hero is worth decent souls, but it's really not all that much. And it's definitely not worth your life. If this is something you were struggling with. Instead, you want to just go around here. And drop down. And if I was human, I would be getting invaded any second now. Anne Orlando is an invasion hotspot, if there ever was one. It's like this and Ulasil are pretty much the places of PvP. And it's Solaire! My friend, my boy.
Oh, there you are. You've been quiet these days. Smooth summoning out there. Anytime you see my brilliantly shining signature, do not hesitate to call upon me. You've left me with quite an impression. I would relish a chance to assist you.
Yeah, I'm a cool guy. Not as cool as you, though.
You really are fond of chatting with me, aren't you? If I didn't know better, I'd think you had feelings for me. Oh no, dear me. Pretend you didn't hear that.
How did he know? Senpai knows! Oh no! Anyways. We're going to be kindling this one to max. This is probably like the one bonfire in this game outside of Painted Worlds that I'd be like probably worth kindling to max if you're at all worried about difficulties progressing. Because Ornstein and Samo can definitely be taken on by just healing. Actually, no, that's wrong. DLC bonfire. There's one bonfire in the DLC as well that I'd recommend kindling to max. Anyways, if you want to practice parrying, these guys are really good people to do it against. It's a super effective way to deal with them. Most of their moves are fairly simple to parry. I mean, you might get the timing wrong. You probably will get the timing wrong at times. But they're easy enough to learn, and they're a good sort to get the feeling for. Plus, they're pretty damn good souls if you want to just fight them a little while. Yeah, see, like, I missed that one by a little bit. Just try again. However, we're going to be assuming that you don't want to practice your parry, and be proceeding just without. Because again, this Zweihander really does not need to be parrying. It does just fine on its own. This is fun, by the way, because if you didn't... Let's say you didn't know there was an illusory wall there, and it is not the most hidden, but somewhat harder to see. You might walk along here and be like, oh, what's down here? A vase, and then be like, huh. What? What's this? How do I get here? Maybe you look through and be like, oh, there's a little passage there. And then you walk in this... you walk in here where previously you'd be like, oh, there's nothing here. That's weird. And you'd be like, oh. Through here. Yay. And now you become the Creeper of Anne Orlando. Place is dark and spooky. There are no enemies with a bit of an asterisk to that. And there's also Havel's stuff. This isn't exactly the best gear in the game. You could maybe make an argument for it being the best, but it's not quite. It has the highest magic defense, very high poise, very high physical defenses. Might be the highest poise, maybe not actually the highest. But it's pretty damn high. But it's got, yeah, really high in the physical defense, really high magic defense, flight. It's high all defenses, pretty much. Pretty good curse defense, too. It's also very heavy. We are a little bit overweight Havel's shit on. We're going to run Gargoyle Helm until we get the Fap Ring. We look stupid, but that's life. But yeah, there are also, yeah, Havel's Great Shield. Let me just show this thing off for a minute. This is a beast of a shield, but it takes 50 strength to wear. But stability through the roof. 100% physical, 90% magic, 80% fire and lightning. There are, like, Black Iron Great Shield beats it in fire, but as you can see, stability crushed by Havel's. Lightning, magic, it's not even close. The weight is tremendous, though. Havel's Great Shield is not the easiest of things to wield. And, oh, well. If it isn't, a funky chain again. Perhaps not a big surprise that there's a mimic in the spooky basement. And yes, it has an occult club. Which is just a club, but in occult enchantment. It's not actually special. But cult's good against the gods. We're fighting gods right now. Pretty sure the Silver Knights count as well, so, you know, not a bad thing to have. If you're finding yourself stuck with whatever your current weapon is, at least. Obviously a lot better on a faith build, but it's something. We'll just go through here for a minute and see, oh, there's nothing in here, but, well, lower level. I'll have to come back. Here, just immediate Silver Knight. I missed. Oof. He sure got me good there. You can also just... Nope, I didn't do a good job there. I'm really not doing a good job. Let's heal. The spear ones can actually be a little tricky, but you can just backstab them as well. They are somewhat more dangerous just because spears can attack from behind shields. As you saw. I guess I could show off the shortcut while I'm here. There's a little bit of a skip you can do. I'm not the best at it, but if you get into a sprint, and I think it's... Nah, it's a little before then. You can jump onto that railing. Like that. We're going to play this normally, but that can be used to skip a good chunk of stuff. And then you can go down here, flatten that loser. And boom. Silver Knight armor. Which is pretty solid armor. Bit heavy, maybe on the upper side of medium. Aesthetics are pretty fun though. I've used it in different sets from time to time. Oftentimes I'll actually go put my set partially around functionality and partly around just the fancies. But yes, we're going to pretend that that skip is not actually a thing. And find ourselves another mimic. I'm one-handing. I'll show off the mimic's movesets a bit instead of just killing it outright this time. And what is this? I'm not even going to look at the damn chain, because this is another mimic. He has a little swipe. Big ol' kick. That's a grab. Boosh, yeah. I think in DS1 that's the entire moveset. DS3s have the spin kick that's pretty fun, but no luck for DS1. R.I.P. We already got that stuff, so... It's something it's something that I'm just like... When I first hear it, I was like, why can't I just climb over to this? Come on, game. You would never get stopped by something like that in Sekiro. This door is locked. This one is not. We're going to deal with this jerk first. Schlonk. Oops, did not mean to do that. I was just stretching a bit. That's a nice little picture of Guinevere on the wall. Think that's supposed to be the Duke Archives? Some random asshole, we're not 100% sure who. Other random assholes. A number of random assholes. No idea who these bitches are. I don't know if they're even characters in the game, or if it's just artwork from whatever French palace or whatever that this area was based on that they just chucked in the game. No idea. And yeah. If you're looking straight ahead, you might get ambushed. If you're looking even slightly to the side, you'll see it coming. Chop him in the dick. And here you enter a three-way standoff. There's an archer over there, and a sword guy over there, and you here. Unfortunately, it's not actually a three-way standoff because they're on the same team. But, Mr. Sword, don't aggro yet. And as you can see, they're easy enough to deal with. We have a plus 15. Silver Knights are not a threat. There's very little that's going to be actually a threat to us from this point on.
Whatever can be.
Good question. What can be done? Tell me what's on your mind, good sir.
Ah, you again. Let me guess. Were you repelled by the Silver Knights? Ah, don't be ashamed. It is the fate of vanguards like you and I. I'll think of something. We can overcome this together.
I feel like his voice is a bit quiet. I'm going to turn up... Wait a minute. There's sounds. I'm going to turn up voice a bit more. Because I honestly really like a lot of the voice acting in this game. And yeah, there's a jerk face over. And there's two jerk faces, but they can be aggroed separately. and flattened with no difficulty. And voila! A completely unnecessary shortcut that cuts out basically nothing. There are 3 knights you have to kill to get in this room, and 1 knight up there at the top of the stairs, whereas if you go the other way, there's 2 knights. It's not even a shortcut. Honestly, you're just kind of letting this dude out.
Oh ho! What's on your mind, friend? Wait. You defeated those monsters? Fantastic. I'm saved. This Knight of Katarina hereby commends you. This as a token of my gratitude.
Okay. It's a shit ring.
Gallantry entails great risk. Next time, give me a chance to come up with a plan.
You got it. I'll wait. Next time we're in a situation like this, I will sit here for 100 years waiting for you to come up with your damn plan, instead of just doing the easy thing. Okay. No worries, friend. Oh. And we run down this little bit here and... Gasp! We've been here before. We haven't been here yet. Because there's this jerk. Oh, fuck off! I'm probably overweight. Just have to not roll. That's all. Sigh, you move real slow when you're overweight, when you're in fat roll territory, though. I think it fucks with your stamina regen a bit, too. I might honestly be better off just using Grass Crest. But the stability on this is pretty nice. I mean, it's working out. Honestly, if I was being serious, I wouldn't have let myself come into this overweight. The armor is not that important. Works out, though. Get 2 demon taunt knots. And there's this weird little altar thing. Not sure what that's about. And I'm not sure why there's a Titanite demon in here. But, fuck it, whatever. Who cares? Who cares? It's not important. Let's see if the message comes out. What about now? I seem to remember there being the Black Eye Orb Quivers message. But maybe I'm misremembering. Doesn't matter. We can use it. Now, in the original Dark Souls, not the remastered, you could not use heals as an invader. In this game, heals are just like halved or some shit. In the original, though, no heals. You had to do this triple gang. You had to do a 3-man gang squad without healing, except humanity. You could use humanity. For invading, humanity was sort of the de facto Estus. It was, or it may not even de facto, but more like replacement.
Well, look at you. I thought you were wiser. But I thought wrong. 'Tis a terrible pity. Like a moth flittering towards a flame. You fell, no? Don't you agree?
Yeah. Oh, I messed that up. Oh well. Give him the smack. Lautrec will go for a backstab. Yeah, you don't... These are more guys you don't actually have to, parry to beat or anything. I did it because it's fun, but... as you can see, it's really not necessary. Also, while I take Lautrec for a jog for a second, something kind of interesting. It's actually possible to open this little doohickey up inside this world, I believe. Or maybe it used to be. I remember something that I found out you could cheese this with once, where you, like, open that door. Or maybe you had to already have it open, something. And you could actually draw these guys out, and they would end up fighting with the, big golden statue dudes outside. I remember cheesing him with that once. It was pretty fun. Also, I guess I'll show off something. Lautrec uses the shuttle. The shuttle is supposed to go around... Yeah, shuttle goes around shields with some of its power attacks. Or maybe just power attacks. I don't remember exactly what. Lautrec can also parry you when his parrying dagger is out. But, as you can see for us, he is a complete fucking joke. I don't know what the fuck you thought to achieve. But, didn't work out for you, did it, Lautrec? Actually, I don't think anyone knows exactly what Lautrec's trying to do with the Viper Keeper's souls. As we'll see when we check out his armor, or if you were to check out his armor, Lautrec is someone loved by Goddess Fina. Goddess of love or beauty or some of that shit. But, as you'll also see with her gear, or his gear, it's a bit of jealous love. And you can just, that's sort of reflected in this ring mechanically. Where this is a really powerful ring. This is the best ring in the game, just for total effect, overall effect. It gives you HP, it gives you stamina, max HP, max stamina, max equip load. But once you put it on, you can never take it off, or else it just breaks. So yeah, we just put on a ring we're never going to take off again. But, as you can see, that gave us a big ol' boost to HP. 220 HP. Went up by 22 equip load. Stamina, I forget where we were at. 160, 170, something like that. So 32, I think it was like 32 stamina. It's 20% something, I don't remember exactly what it is. It's some nice bonuses, though. And with that, we can Havels. Full Havels. Big Rock Man. Let's go. Also, killing Lautrec refreshed our Estus. That's kind of nice. We'll deal with that shit down there in a moment. First, let's check out what's past this little broken window here. And just talk about cool little extras and ways to get around. Sometimes I miss that and die. Sometimes I fall in the wrong direction. Not sure what that's about. And yeah, there's just one thing that's missing a bar here. I like it. Squish. Other jerk face. And also, talking about shortcuts, we're about to open another one. This loser can't get through there, though he'll try. Aggro this jerk. Big ol' stab. Shorter weapons can miss pretty easily when they do that jump. This Vi doesn't. Best PV weapon in the game, I'm telling you. Feel free to disagree all you want. I'm sure you could make arguments for a ton of weapons in this game being best weapon, best PvE, PvP, whatever. There's a lot of really good weapons. Actually, basically all the weapons in this game are frankly viable. Some are considerably less so, but you can beat the game with anything you want.
Who are you? Forge your weapons?
Sure thing, brah. This guy, he does two things. He can make boss soul weapons, which you can see here. Using the soul of Gwyntalin, I can turn any catalyst into a Tin Dark Moon catalyst. Won't actually tell me much about it, but oh well. However, to be able to turn weapons into a boss weapon, you need the right type of weapon at like plus 10, I think it was. And you can turn it into a boss weapon. Some boss weapons fucking suck. Actually, a lot of them kind of suck. Some of them take pretty specific builds. There aren't even that many boss weapons, to be honest. But there are a couple good ones. Quelag's Fury Sword is like the boss weapon, if you ask me. There's some that maybe that work better for like super high level builds. I think Artorias' Greatsword is pretty strong on ridiculously high level builds or whatever. But Quelag Fury Sword is powerful. It's fast. It's got pretty good range. And if you have, it scales mostly off of humanity. And if you have a 10 humanity, it does a lot of damage. That sword will carry you through the game, no problem. He also sells some shit. He sells Titanite, Large Titanite Green, and Twinkling. The only one who sells Twinkling. And he sells Giant's Armor. Now, the thing with Giant's Armor is, apart from just the meme, it's actually pretty damn good. I don't think its stats aren't quite as high as Havel's, or its defense aren't quite as Havel's, base at its base, but it is lighter, and it can be upgraded. And in fact, I'm going to look it up briefly. I found for Dark Souls, somewhere online, there was a chart of the highest defenses on armor. Armor comparison and best armor, I think it was. Yes. If it will ever load. My internet is not great. Bunch of text. Okay, yeah. If upgraded, the highest physical defense armor set is the Giant's Armor set. I was right. It takes investment, is the thing, but full Giant's Armor turns you into a tank. An absolute tank. Now, Havel's, mind you, still has the best magic defense, and has very good other defenses as well. But if you just want to tank up against physical, and you might, you want full Giant. Now, we're not going to, in this playthrough, we're not actually going to do it, because it's kind of a pain, and honestly, Lowe's set, which we will be able to buy, gives pretty damn good defenses, with the highest defenses in some other zones. While, without needing upgrades, at the cost of just being, besides heavy as fuck, fucking ugly. I think we'll have enough carry weight to wield it, we'll see. We can mix and match as need be. And we will be grabbing Smo's set just cause. Havel's set also has the highest curse resistance and the highest poise, though. So that's something. But yes, we will not be buying Giant's Armor in this run. However, if for the DLC, if you really want to just reach your maximum potential, I'd recommend buying full set of Giants, upgrading it to the max. You can use Twinkling Titanite from all the crystal lizards in the game, basically. If you clear the Great Hollow, you'll actually have a ton of Twinkling, and then you just need to spend a bit of souls buying some more from the blacksmith, which you can get souls quite easily in Painted World, so it's not too much of a difficulty. And just run full Giants. Full Giants will kick ass. Here's Solaire's summon sign, by the way. We won't be summoning him, but it is there. Now, you generally don't want to actually do what I just did, because they'll both aggro at once. Although you can get a nice little hit in, and get one of them out like that when they falls, if you're prepared for it. And 1v1, these guys are still manageable, but they're kind of a pain. As you can see, they're fancy versions of the big giant dudes, or the big giant golden armor boys. These guys are special because, outside of just being a bit stronger, they can cast magic. And they cast both Heal and Wrath of God, an AoE point-blank explosion. But they give a lot of souls, so that's something. Honestly, I wouldn't really bother with them, for the most part. I'm just here killing them because we can, and because I want to open this thing. But if you die to the boss that's coming up, and you're trying to run back to the boss arena to get back your souls, or just fight it again, you can honestly ignore them. Like, I'll show off the little method, but... So if you're coming from the boss, you'd be coming from, around here. Because, yeah, this is the way, this little part here is how you go forward. You'd want to take the shortcut, you'd probably want to take either the jump from the, stairs, or if you're not the best at hitting that reliably, you can just take the, side door with the Silver Knights. And then you come down here, you do a little drop, try not to miss the stairs, you want to actually land on the stairs, you can also just run around the stairs as well. And then you juke, usually the guy who's standing here would start coming around here, or depending on what direction you're going, he might start coming around here, it'll depend on where you are. You juke him around the pillar, make a run for it, and just go straight in the fog door. They will basically never catch you. If you do it right, they won't catch you. And here we go. Great music, though. It's Dunkstein and Slammo. Now the way you want to position them so that that you have both of them in your sight at once. You don't want to be split up. Actually, you don't want them to be split up. You want one to be in front of the other. And if you want to make this easy, you kill Ornstein first. Ornstein is significantly squishier. And, much more importantly, for the second phase, Ornstein... The second phase of this fight, when you kill Ornstein first, is much easier to deal with than if you were to kill Smo first. Now, how do you oh. I'll shut up for a second. You can't get a heal off in that zone sometimes, but that bit sometimes. And Smo, with no hesitation, crushes his friend. And now he has lightning. That's it. Do the butt bomb, Smo. Oh, shit. Whatever. But yeah, Smo is honestly a lot easier to fight when powered up than Giant Ornstein is. Giant Ornstein is nasty. And yeah, you can, to some degree... I don't know if you can completely chain stagger him, but like the Taurus Demon, if you time it right, you can stagger Smo with his Vi. Can maybe do it to Giant Ornstein too, actually. I'm not sure if I've ever tried. Do the butt bomb, Small. I want to show it off. Do the butt bomb. Whatever. But yeah, if you kill... Whoever you kill second is the one you'll be able to get the boss equipment and the boss soul from. Which means if you want Smo's hammer or his set, you kill Smo second. Ow. But, if you want Ornstein's stuff, and also, I might add, Ornstein gives you a ring. There's the butt bomb. That's like his most dangerous attack. Let's finish him off. If we were to kill Ornstein, we get a ring as well as a soul. Ornstein's armor is a lot nicer to look at, although honestly, as an armor, it's not the best. Decent stats, but there's better. And here we have Statue of Guinevere, Statue of Gwyn, and an empty place. This would have been Gwyn's firstborn. Note, not depicted is Gwendolyn, who is the only one who is actually still in Anor Londo. Anor Londo is a big fucking lie, as we will straight up demonstrate in just a little bit. Also, if you did Lautrec's quest, if you killed him in the gank squad and you didn't just murder him back at Firelink or something, you find his armor here. Let's see what it has to say for itself. Helm of Lautrec, the embraced, representing the goddess Vena's love. During his solitude, he forsook everything, for he believed in the goddess's love for him. Embraced armor of favor. The goddess's arms wrap around it as if to embrace the wearer. And as you can sort of see on it, there's arms on the front. And during the solitude, you forget everything. So, Goddess Fina, goddess of love, who is quite the jealous one, as you can tell by her ring, and by the fact that her armor is constantly holding you, embracing you. Although you could maybe make an argument for that being romantic or something. Lautrec is devoted to the goddess of love. He killed the Firekeeper, presumably for that reason, for something related to her. What the goddess of love wants with the Firekeeper's soul, who fucking knows? Also, as you can see, we are not getting a lot of damage out of our strength points right now. 30, honestly, past 30 is sort of like the first soft cap, if you will. Past there, it drops off a bit, but you can still get to 40. We're probably gonna... It's arguably more worthwhile to pump Vit once you hit 40 strength, but we might decide to pump some into strength, keep pumping into strength if we have enough points, just to be able to wield Havel's Great Shield to show it off a bit. Let's do Guinevere first. Check out Guinevere first. Do her. Jesus Christ.
And overcome much, chosen undead. Come hither, child.
And yeah, titties.
O chosen undead, I am Guinevere, daughter of Gwyn and queen sunlight. Since the day father his form did obscureth, I have awaited thee. I bequeath the Lord vessel to thee. And beseech thee, succeed Lord Gwyn, and inheriteth the fire of our world. Thou shalt endeth this eternal twilight, and avert further undead sacrifices.
Anything else to say?
O chosen undead, thou...
No. Well, maybe talk.
Since the day
Father, nah, no.
a great indeed.
Oh, there we go.
It felt the warmth of fire, its radiance and the life it sustaineth. Without fire, all shall be a frigid and frightful dark. Please, father's role thou should assume, and inheriteth the fire of our world.
She means
Thou shalt
literally.
endeth this eternal twilight, and avert further undead sacrifices.
That you're sacrificing.
Seeker Prout, the primordial serpent, shall guideth thee.
Yeah, ball sack snake.
Please.
Blah, blah, blah. So yes, they're... you don't quite get the full story, but at this point they tell you, hey. They're telling you, hey, you need to succeed Lord Gwyn. The fire is dying. We need Lord Souls to rekindle it. I don't remember if Frampt actually tells you this or not, but... basically, go kill the other lords, take their souls. They're also pieces of Gwyn's soul. The Lord Vessel will take them. Bring them to the kiln of the first flame, and go take Lord Gwyn's place in setting yourself on fire, so that the gods may continue their reign of dominance. They like fire, they like light, they are scared of the dark. And they're just like, hey, these undead jerks, the humans. Humans, by the way, are of the dark. The dark soul is humanity. Gods have the soul, or more or less souls of light, I guess. The light soul is Gwyn's soul, so... yeah, the gods are like, hey, these people that would probably benefit, well, maybe, we don't actually know, but these people whose era would be the era of dark, whose era would take over for us, let's get them to sacrifice themselves, or let's oppress them, and get them to sacrifice themselves so that we may maintain our dominance, while also telling them, hey, it's for your own good. Gods are a little fucked, man. By the way, the depths, Blighttown, that's where the waste from Anor Londo seemingly goes, and that's why it's all gross and shit. because of, like, literal shit. Gods are kind of fucked.
Now
Also, her covenant's completely useless. I think it, like, lets you connect with people for PV, or for co-op more easy or some shit. I don't know. I don't care. Doesn't matter. Is there a bow we can wield? Maybe farther down. Wrong button. I mean, it doesn't mean... I guess it doesn't matter if we don't have the dex for it anyways. I missed. There we go. How much damage do I have to do? That much. If Gwendolyn was still alive, we would have heard his voice at that point. But since he dead, we didn't. I maybe should have saved killing him for that, but oh well. It doesn't matter too much. And Orlando is dark. With the shooting of the illusion of Guinevere, the illusion of light is gone. This is the real Anne Orlando. We're not going to warp quite yet, because I want to show this place off. The giants are gone. Or the giant golden dudes are gone. I missed. Darn. And here you can see it's a Balder Knight and a Berenike Knight, seemingly. Stop trying to parry me, asshole. Presumably, other undead. Maybe maybe knights themselves, maybe just other undead wearing the knight's armor. Presumably servants of Gwendolyn, the Dark Moon Covenant, the Dark Moon Blade. Those giant things, they're gone. If you go through here, looking for the Silver Knights. One's still there. Oof. Fuck you. I thought the Silver Knights were supposed to vanish too. Maybe it wasn't all of them. I seem to remember the Silver Knights vanishing. That might be DS1 exclusive. But like, you see the way they kind of when they die, that's supposed to be indicative of an illusion. And the illusions are all supposed to be gone right now. So, I think originally they all disappeared. It's possible this is a remake, a remastered thing. Oh well. It's probable that if it is a remastered thing, it's probably because the Silver Knights drop items or something. Or alternatively, I'm just remembering the whole thing totally wrong. Could be either one, really. You never know. And we're gonna warp chamber the princess again, because I want to have a dramatic showdown with someone. And I think it'll be faster this way. But yes, real Anne Orlando. The giant golden soldiers, gone. They're never real. Originally, I think the Silver Knights, never real. Maybe this one did this one disappear? Are you still there? Yeah, this one disappears. An illusion. That Silver Knight was an illusion. A lot of the things are. The weird demon gremlin things, those are real. Giant blacksmith is real. It's hard to say with Ornstein's Smo. Smo is almost certainly real, I believe. Some people theorize Ornstein's an illusion, but that's largely because of DS2. I think it's probably horse shit. He's probably real. But you never know. Down there, the Firekeeper was certainly real. She's not too happy with us.
So it was you, was it? How dare you produce a blade upon a deity? How did you ever get this far? I shall end your suffering here and now. It is the least that I can do.
She'll try to parry me, I believe. Yep. She's not that strong. She's fancy, though.
But how? This man is a threat, Master Gwendolyn.
With her Firekeeper soul. Her bonfire will now be out. You can... Oh, I can always just... You can, however, teleport to it. It will let you do that, but once you get there, you won't be able to teleport back without a homeward bone or just going to actual bonfire. Yo, what up?
You really are fond of chat if I didn't know that. Oh no.
Why'd you disappear last time anyways? Don't be a stranger. Alright. As you can see, unlike the subsequent games, you cannot warp to every bonfire in this. You use Shrine. Sunlight Altar is the one past where the Hellkite Drake's Bridge was, by the way. Anor Londo, which is the first bonfire of Anor Londo. Chamber of the Princess, which we visited. Dark Moon Tomb. There's a lot of them in Anor Londo, that's for sure. Daughter of Chaos, who is the white spider lady. The bonfire in the depths, for some reason. But hey, I'm not complaining. Undead Parish bonfire. Which, a little misleading, and is the one we're going to, by the way, is the bonfire by the blacksmith. And then the final bonfire you can go to there was, if you have, as I'm sure you could see with functioning eyes, the Painted World. Let's give an ember to this guy while we're here.
Show me that ember of yours. Well, I've never heard of a black ember. How about leaving that ember with me? I find it strangely fascinating.
And we're going to help his fall to the dark side.
Yes. Well, thank you. This ember really is something special. I'm already under its spell. I sense great potential indeed.
We have given him the spooky dark ember to let him make spooky dark weapons to kill gods with.
I'll be seeing you then. Be careful.
Yep. I believe there's still one more ember we can give to him. Let me rephrase that to be slightly more accurate. I know that there is one more ember we can give to him. I think it's the only one left. Bushman. Die, Bushman. Yeah, we can kill him one-handed now. What of it? They're so weak for what... We are so unbelievably over-leveled for the garden. Arguably for Sif as well. At the very least, I don't think Sif was intended. I'm pretty sure you're supposed to fight Sif before you go fight, or do New Londo and fight the Four Kings. But, like I said before, this game, the intended route is kind of open to interpretation, shall we say. You can argue whether there even really is an intended route or not. Is we're going to kill Moonlight Butterfly, because we haven't yet, and we might as well. It's not exactly a difficult fight for us at this point. You can kindle this bonfire if you feel like you need it, by the way. If you do the Moonlight Butterfly earlier, I would at least kindle it to the +10 available at that point. Moonlight Butterfly is kind of a pain. Also, we're going to pick up this item now, since we are, amazing. We're pretty confident in our ability to take care of the Moonlight Butterfly, at which point we're not going to have to come back here. And the other reason to not pick up that item is because every time you pass by here after picking it up, these jerkheads will all jump out and attack you from behind as you go by. And early in the game, at the point we came in here, 3 bush boys at once is kind of dangerous. Now it's nothing, but that was then, this is now. We don't actually need to run through the center and aggro all the stone boys. They don't pose much of a threat, but they also don't vary much at this point either, so. We go around here. Guess he doesn't notice us. This guy does, though. 1 hit. Souls aren't actually that bad. Still, not necessarily worth our time. We get more souls just killing Silver Knights or Dark Wraiths. Or Phalanx. There is a summon, by the way, down there you can do for this. You can summon Witch something or other. Beatrix, I think. Witch Beatrix, that sounds right. And she'll come out here and she'll attempt to cast magic on the butterfly, and she'll probably fail a number of times, judging by my experience the one time I summoned her. But she'll eventually hit and just chunk the shit out of him, so. As you can see, we have Havels, but it does do a lot of damage. But if you've gone to the Undead Asylum, you can Crest Shield. And the Crest Shield has very good magic defense. Those attacks, which are a bit harder to dodge, can be blocked pretty simply. And as you can see, you can sometimes avoid them just by running in the right direction. I'm not actually that good at dodging the Moonlight Butterfly's attacks. It's big shot you want to roll into it, which I kind of fucked up last time. It's definitely a fight that's a bit easier when you can do a fast roll, but we really don't need to care. And if you have ranged, or good rate, like this one, just do that. If you have a good ranged option, this fight is a complete joke, because you can just be shooting it this whole time. And as long as the ranged option in question does enough damage, you won't even need to land. But for us melee types, you have to wait for it to land. And then a lot of bouncing. But it's easy enough. Because again, a +15 is far stronger than anything that was intended for this point. We'll swap back. I'll actually run the Black Knight for just a little bit. We still can roll with it. And even, come to think of it, it's a little heavy, but we could wield the Black Iron Great Shield if we wanted for even more stability. We'd be fat rolling right now, so we'd have to, I don't know. Gargoyle Helm? Yeah. Perfect. We'll run this for just a little bit. Great Shields, by the way, cannot parry. You get a shield bash instead of a parry. Like, pata. I don't think I've ever actually used a shield bash in combat. There's another Andre clone. He has the basement key, which, if you didn't have the master key, is how you get to Havel. Which, if you don't have the master key, you want to kill the butterfly because you want Havel's ring. We have the key, so we didn't need to care. And obviously, as you see from this point, gives us a lot more strength than the previous one did. The last few points towards 40 actually give you some decent numbers. It's just before that that's kind of like, I don't think it's as efficient overall per point, though don't necessarily quote me on that, because I'm not 100% sure. Bullshit. I don't even think we have to care if we get hit anyways, but... See, compared to back then, we could already face tank these guys to some degree, and kill them pretty damn fast. Now it's not even close. There's killing them fast and face tanking, and then there's just whatever this is. Jerk is going to try and heal, flatten, discombobulate. First, discombobulate. Block his, was it, blind something. Attack me already! Dodges it, discombobulate. Then, discombobulate. In summary, discombobulate. Yeah, as you can see, shield bash isn't very strong. We have plenty of S's, so I don't need to care about taking a bit of damage being silly, but... Yeah, Havel's kind of... I mean, we're not full Havels, but... Havel's high HP, as you can see, is utter bullshit tanks. What up, Alvina?
Is it not so that thou art new? Thou fared well to find me, but cometh thee not for the grave of Sir Artorius? My advice true. Forget this. The legend of Artorius art none but a fabrication. Traversing the dark. 'Tis but a fairy tale. Have thine own respect. Go not yonder knocking for nothing, I say.
Okay.
Well, indeed, thou art a strange one. Nevertheless, I feel some liking for thee. I'm Alvina of the Darkroot Wood. I command a clan of hunters who track down defilers of the forest graves. What dost thou say? Wilt thou not join us? Oh, yes, I believe we would suit thee well.
Sure thing.
I am very glad. And now thou art one of us. Let us establish a covenant. And here taketh this ring.
Cool.
If thou wearest that ring, it allows for thine summoning. If mine senses reveal intruders, then I will summon thee. Fend them off, sir. I beseech only this. I shall summon others who will, by their honor, work tirelessly with thee. Thou shalt receive great reward, and whatsoever ye shall pillage will be thine own. A true agreement, not so? But thou must heed the golden rule. The clan is thine own family. To thine kinsman forever stay true. Darest not in any attempt to double-cross. Have no doubt, such wretchedness never will we tolerate.
Yeah. Basically, she gives you a ring. Cat Covenant Ring. Ring granted to those bound by the Forest Hunter Covenant, answer Alvina's summoning. The white cat Alvina speaks human tongue. Although, if you listen closely, you can kind of hear Will meow cat noises while she talks. And has lived since the early age of fire. She's really fucking old. Alvina was a trusted friend of Knight Artorius and the Great Wolf Sif. When you're wearing this ring, as long as you're wearing this ring, whether you are human or not, if whether you're human or not, and there are invaders in the forest, you can be summoned, along with a bunch of other people, to fight. The forest, is a gank zone. This is Lay Big Boy Gank Zone. You'll probably get summoned. There'll be probably an invader. You can... Red phantoms, or I guess they're called technically black phantoms, but they look red. You can fight with those. You can fight with the person you're being summoned to invade. And they'll probably have summons who will be fighting as well. It's a big old clusterfuck. It's kind of fun, not gonna lie. But also can be kind of a mess. And people tend to bring stupid, cheesy bullshit to the forest. It is what it is. It can be entertaining. Now, she... Oh, also I should mention now, since we've seen Dark Anor Londo, Gwendolyn's Dark Moonblade Covenant Ring, you will get summoned to invade people who are in Dark Anor Londo. Which is something that, even more than everything else, makes Anor Londo a super PvP hotspot. And for the most part, people who actually shoot Guinevere are probably just looking to PvP. Though not necessarily for sure. And yes, Alvina, do you have anything else to say?
Ah, thou dost cometh. How fares ye? My hopes for thee are of the highest. Do not such a hope shatter with foul disproportion.
Oh, I'm gonna shatter it, alright. What up?
I've heard all about you. I'm Shiva of the East, captain of the brigade. Let's teach you the clan basics now, as there's no time to chat in the midst of fighting. Except there is little in the form of rules, you hear. Fight and hunt as you like. Whoever's fastest gets the prey. That's the way we do it. Only, don't forget what Alvina said. Traitors aren't given a second chance, for any reason. That's about it then. Don't worry, it's a good old time, isn't it? Great to have you with us. Good hunting to you.
Anything else to say?
Don't worry now. You'll be called in soon enough. Hunt us with patience.
Yeah, not a lot. But once you talk to that bitch...
Ah, did you notice that one? Sharp eyes? He is one of the clan from the east. Myself. Always slinking in the shadows. But he is a tough one. You'll see what I mean.
Yeah, he's got his little ninja friend with him. Now, if you leave here, Shiva will go down into Blight Town, where he'll act as a merchant. You can fight him there. Now, you can choose to fight him at any point. His ninja boy drops something, and in fact, we will kill him. The main reason we joined the Covenant, besides just some lore, is to kill this jerk. In the original idea for the game, he was going to betray you. He was going to be looking for a sword, and you would get that sword, and he would attack you for it. At least that was the plan. And there's going to be some dialogue warning you, hey, don't trust that dude. And I don't know, maybe it's still in the game, I don't remember. Yeah, not really. But as it is, he's just kind of here. Just there, just does stuff. And yes, if you're in the Covenant, the dudes who we killed getting up here will not attack you. But if you attack any of them, you break the Covenant. If you attack these people, you break the Covenant. Now, the normal way to deal with this guy is to kick him. Let me actually aim that properly. Kick him until he falls off the edge. And then you reload the game and his stuff will be where his body was. We don't need to do such bullshit. We just fucking kill him. And then... I forgot I can't parry. As you can see, Humanity and Darkwood Green Ring.
You poor fool. You weren't able to run far enough.
Now, something to keep in mind. If you talk to Alvina again after having betrayed the Covenant, and as you can see, we betrayed it, we are in Covenant None, it is unavailable to us. If you talk to her again, you will not, or she will disappear. And I don't believe you will be able to rejoin the Covenant. At least that was the case in the original Dark Souls. I'm not sure. Remastered made some small changes to the Covenant system. So it's possible you can still do it in Remastered, but I don't think so. However, if we were to go seek absolution, which I might add is a little expensive, it's 500 souls times your level. So, what, 36,000 souls? Yeah, 36,000 souls. Kind of a lot. Like, it's not terrible, but it's a level and a half about. What's not? But if we did want to, in fact, want to rejoin, we could go seek absolution. Our sins would be forgiven, and we could rejoin the Covenant. But you can't do that if you talk to Alvina again and she disappears. So, just something to keep in mind. We haven't really been through this part yet much. There's not a lot here, but there's a few things. One of them being giant mushroom people. The baby mushrooms in this part are not aggressive. You can murder a sibling in front of them. They don't seem to care. Bit cold, really. These guys are aggressive. Watch out for these guys. These guys are strong. It probably doesn't look like much, but this is a very high stability shield. Let's get hit by one just to show it off. And this is with full Havels. You've seen what other things do to us damage-wise. And that wasn't even do a ton of damage. Watch out for them. But we have the Zwei. Zwei takes care of everything. And they drop the pine resin. Which I haven't used any pine resin because I don't really need to. But it is worth noting. Pine resins could be pretty effective, especially if you're running lighter weapons. Faster weapons, I guess I should say. As a damage buff. The gargoyles, for example, are weak to lightning. And a gold pine resin, which you will likely have gotten before reaching the gargoyles, if you're being thorough, can help a lot with damaging them down. And the gargoyles are a bit of a DPS check to some degree. Enchanted Ember. For a blacksmith we haven't talked to, for weapons we'll never make. And honestly, that's kind of all there is, with one exception. Also, after we're done here, we're gonna pay out the Hydra a visit. Let's show the Sonic Cats. Ba 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 bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Yeah. Anyways, these things are fucking annoying. By the way, there's another one. Where'd it go? There's supposed to be two right now. There's the other one. These things are fucking bullshit. You just cheese them. There are other ways to deal with them. It's not worth. Just fucking cheese them. They hit really hard. That roll is bullshit. Their attacks are fucking annoying. They actually have a lot of HP. Just cheese them. Like, back up. Draw them out to about here-ish. Cheese. Owie. That really hurt. I'm dead now. Simple enough, but we're also pretty big. And they give some souls, but it's not a lot. The main reason they're here is there's a way to get to this part besides the crest of Artorias. That is to go kill the Hydra, go down past it, or through the water, up some ladders, over and around, and eventually you come through here, and these are like the last enemy. They don't respawn. They don't drop anything unique, or anything at all for that matter. They give a bit of souls, but not a lot. They're just giant, weird, man-eating cat things that guard the garden. Maybe because Alvina summoned them, or maybe because they're just here to eat people. Who knows? Either way, they're fucking dead, and good riddance. There's one last thing here, and it's the main thing we're here for. Now, contrary to what Alvina said, Artorias is not a fairy tale. Also, you can't really, outside of just bugs, glitches, and bullshit, you can't complete the game without coming to here. So ignore Alvina when she says, yeah, don't go any further. You don't got much of a choice. Also, by the way, if she's like, hey, don't seek the grave, and you're like, I'll seek it. She's like, fuck off. Or more specific, and never talks to you again. Or rather, specifically what happens, she says, be gone from here, pernicious caitiff. And maybe some other stuff, but that's the line she'll repeat. I'm not sure, I think you can request absolution to get another chance, but I'm not 100% sure on that. And here we go. This is a pretty popular enemy in Dark Souls. Great Grey Wolf Sith. The giant doggo with a sword in his mouth. Well, it's a pretty fucking good music, I might add. This is honestly a really well-designed boss. First of all, it's cool. It's a giant fucking dog with a sword in its mouth. By the way, that double spin is a nasty attack. Watch out for it. With a decent shields, we'll be able to block all his other stuff without too much trouble. Not that attack. That attack will smash through your shields and take out half your HP through a lot of shields. But yeah, like, just look at this guy. Just look at this fucking arena. Arena's cool as shit. The boss is cool as shit. The music is cool as shit. The fight is a little shit, but whatever. It's cool, so it's okay. And, most importantly, and perhaps iconically, I can get you in the face. When he gets low, he starts limping. His attacks get weaker. And a lot slower. He is a good boy and he is trying his best, but he doesn't have much left in him. I think it's time we put him out of his misery. Now, if you do the DLC before fighting Sith, which is possible, you will get a special cutscene when you come up to the front. Is this the front? No, this is the back. When you come up to the front of the grave here, where Sith will pin you down, recognize you, because you save him in the DLC. You save him when he's a little pup. He will be very sad, and he will howl, take the sword in his mouth, and prepare to fight. Ah, whatever. It's a bit of a sad moment, honestly. Now, let's see. I think we just have... But yeah, Sif is... He's an interesting character. He's guarding his master's grave and the way into the abyss to unlock the art of lifesteal. I don't think he's actually part of, the plan by the gods to get a replacement for Lord Gwyn. I think he's just there to... A, possibly just guard the grave from defilers. B, probably guard New Londo and the seal. And he's also a warrior. And as a warrior, when you come to fight, whether he likes it or not, he will still fight you. 'Tis a bit sad. But he's a good boy. And also a very cool fight. Anyways, next is the Hydra. I'm going to be a little greedy. Ideally, you'd want to sit by the bonfire down there to reduce the trek back to the Hydra. It's very possible to die. And we might honestly still die, but we're big, we're strong. I think we can do it. We can also one-shot the golems with that, which helps. The crystal golems can honestly be a bit of an issue when fighting the Hydra, when they come up behind you. Yes, as we're about to see, the Hydra's water shots are a big ol' pain. They hurt. They also, most of the time, is surprisingly good aim. Another thing they do hurt the golems too, by the way. Which can honestly help out quite a bit. This is the knight stuff. The knight could not make it past the Hydra. Schlonk. We'll probably kill it before all starts. By the way, if you go too far, as you can kinda see, there's a ledge and you die. It's a little bullshit, but what can you do? Yeah, in theory, the Hydra dies when its last head gets cut off, but it's still just a normal enemy. It has a normal health bar. You still just hit it enough times and it'll die, heads or no. For just a moment, we're going to equip Rusted Iron Ring. I can't remember if there's an item over here or not. Doesn't matter. Rusted Iron Ring lets us run a bit better in water. If we really wanted to, we could switch to lighter gear as well. Make it a bit faster, but not strictly necessary. As you can see here, there's a little ladder. This is how you get to Sith/Darkroot Garden if you don't have the Crest of Artorias. But it's a pain, and the crest is only 20k, which in the grand scheme of things is not a lot. So we don't bother. Also, watch out for the big hole the Hydra was in. You don't want to fall in and die. Just stick to the edge. You have a decent amount of room, but no reason to be uncautious. Well, I can see there's nothing back here, but let's do a little magic trick. Golden Golem. It's kind of shiny. It's kind of nice. So you can sort of, if you look carefully, you can see there's someone in there. It's pretty tough, too. All things considered. Sup, Dusk?
So, 'tis thou who rescueth me. Most gracious, I am deeply obliged. I am Dusk of Ulisio. I cometh from an age long before thine. I cannot stay here for long. So, before I disappear, allow me to ask one thing. My home, Ulisio, is the home of ancient sorceries. My hope is to pass this profound knowledge to thee, with thine approval. Would this be of assistance to thee?
Yeah.
My heartfelt thanks. I am pleased beyond words. Then I shout. Engrave my signature. If thou art in need, pray summon me from my signature. It seems that my time is done. May the great flames guide thee.
Yeah, she disappears. As she said, she's from an ancient time. Somehow got brought to the future and stuck inside a golem. She's important for the DLC, and you have to kill that golem before you can access the DLC. I don't think she was available prior to the DLC, but I started playing after the DLC was added, so I can't comment for sure. Now we're going to come over here. We're going to do another little magic trick. Voila. This is a bit of a different summon, by the way. This is not a combat summon. She will not follow you. This is a merchant.
It is an honor to see thee again. I shall follow thy wishes.
She sells utility magic. And this one makes you kind of invisible. This one just makes light. Honestly, it's not very useful. But it's elementary, but nonetheless demonstrates the achievement in mysticism of Ulasil. Such magic has not been developed even in Vinheim. Modern magic users have not figured out how to remake this magic. Yeah, this is obviously repairs your stuff. Chameleon is fun. Chameleon turns you into an object. You can still move around, but it's a way to, like, hide and ambush people. Completely useless in PvE. Fun as hell in PvP. Oh, and yeah, hidden weapon at the bottom. It makes your right weapon invisible, which you can hide whatever you're wielding from your opponent. That's something, I guess. And then a catalyst. Yeah, Ulasil Catalyst doesn't have a lot of magic adjust. Not actually used for offensive magic. Can learn proper bow. And she has some stuff for us.
For a very long time, I was trapped within the crystal golem. From my home I was taken and banished to a plane of distortion. It was there that thou came to my rescue, long after I had relinquished all hope. So gleeful was I. My faith reneweth. The sorceries of Ulasil differ from the magic of thine age. It is difficult to explain. Ulasil's sorceries are, what doth one say? They're somewhat of an approximation. Thine sorceries are more straightforward, negating all but thyself. Dost thou not find some fascination in these discrepancies?
Yes, and I do find it interesting.
The sorcery, it is thine. Does that
Ulasil sorceries are...
I wish to be of assist. May the flames...
Ulasil sorceries are a bit odd. They're not offensively used, and they're not as direct. An approximation, as she puts it. You just sort of... You do it by feel, it seems like. Whereas magics of the current day are... You do the one thing, you do it very specifically, and you get this effect, you shoot out this thing. Now... Let's head to Firelink Shrine. Yeah.
Well, fancy meeting you here. You did much for me up above. I am grateful. You know, I was thinking the gates, the old fortress. Was that your doing?
Yep.
Yes, I knew it. It seemed like an unlikely coincidence. Well, am I fortunate? This Knight of Katarina thanks you sincerely. Please, take this as a token of my gratitude.
By the way, his quest progresses whether you say yes or not.
There you are. I'll be heading down below shortly. There's nothing worthwhile up above. No worries. Venturing is my life. I'm prepared for the worst.
I like this guy. Venturing is his life. He's prepared for the worst. But he's funny. He goes to the great city of the gods. At the top of the world. Great place of light. Fights Silver Knights. Sees the city of the gods and says, nothing to see here. Comes back down. He's like, let's go to Blight Town now.
There you are. I'll be heading down below shortly. There's nothing worthwhile up above. No worries. Venturing is my life. I'm prepared for the worst.
And Siegmeyer is undead. If he dies, he'll just come back. He is okay with dying. He is probably not even looking for any material gain. He's just doing it to adventure. He does it because he enjoys it. And he doesn't care what comes of it, what happens to him. He finds it fun, nonetheless. I like Siegmeyer. And it's kind of sad what'll be happening to him. But we'll get there eventually. We can revive the Keeper now.
Thank you. I am Anastasia of Astora.